bounce, but Fly doing absolutely nothing. So Fly E making some power moves back into the volume weighted average price here, or at least close enough to it. Looks like it halted and reopened, at least from what I can tell, for the umpteenth time. And, the easy way, from what I can tell, I just looked at my Halt scanner, and pretty much the Halt scanner is this stock today. It's just all Fly E, a little bit of whatever BLCN is, and then AHMA, which was, that's the one with the cool name. It's Ambitions Enterprise Management. Good for them. Ambitions Enterprise Management.
That's actually pretty cool, that Halt scanner that we have here. And,
yeah, that's a P Pro. That's
I
here.
got to get that going as well. I don't normally.
Because I used to have, I mean, I still have the NASDAQ, NASDAQ page up there because that'll show you like the different codes. Yeah. But it's just easier to have the one built into our platform. Like, why not have it? We even have the Halt bands set up now. Although,
like that.
What's going to happen is I'm going to pull up FLYE now.
Like, look how
and
cool.
You're not going to see them.
Like, look how cool this is. Like, honestly, it's not. We do like to, you know, support the P8 platform here. I mean, it's the same platform that I've been on for 25 years. But this is cool. Like, you could just right-click this Halt scanner, and I don't know if you can zoom in on this. Who's over there, Andre? Because like these are all the markets that we have, and there's probably even more on here that are not even included right now. But like, look at all this. For the Halt scanner, you can look at what market, like talk about just the customizability here of what we're working with. And why I think you guys should, you know, go to realtrading.com and get this all figured out. But like Abu Dhabi, Amex, Amsterdam, the ASX, Australia, Blue Ocean, Bovespa there. So like if you're trading Blue Ocean and you want to see if anything halts, click on that stock. So I was going to say here, like Canada or TSX, if you want to see if there's anything halted over in Canada, we could definitely check that out pretty easily as well. But you know, for me here, it's very, very simple. Is anything halted over there on the OTC markets? Is there anything halted in New York? Is there anything halted here in NASDAQ? And then the last one that we cover mostly here is Amex. You just push apply and then okay, and then we'll wait to see. I guess it must not backfill, but as it starts to halt, it'll come in here. So I actually like that. I didn't even really set that up before, so I'm going to do that now. So thanks, Neil, for showing that. I'm just going to keep it up over here, save my layout now, and that way now, if you guys are asking for specific stocks, we'll be able to quickly check if said name has halted or not. And we'll go diamond hands just because it's fun, but it's not really diamond hands. This is a good trade for us now. Long at 53.81. We just talked about getting some more out here. Look, we have a down sloping 50-period moving average. We have a bounce off of VWAP. So we say, okay, VWAP, okay, we see you. But right now we're trying to figure out if this wants to break higher. I'm kind of getting like, we talked about that pit, you know, in your stomach, and it's not like from lunch or anything. It's just from like that feeling that you maybe get about a stock potentially turning around or something. I don't know. I don't really, this market's spending a lot of time here. We have some pressure from the 50 period. It may want to have a look at VWAP. So remember, we'll average in if it comes back into this price, but if it loses VWAP, we're out. It looks like there's too much pressure here on the market initially. So out if we break through VWAP on the NQs. So that's going to be my play. And without any further ado.
By the way, volume's picking up on Bitcoin. Before we go to Adara, volume picking up here in IBIT. I actually noticed it first when looking at BMNR because I had that up. And I was like, oh, BMNR at VWAP. And then BMNR just busted through VWAP in a big way. So I looked over, I get it, obviously BMNR is ETH, but I looked over at Bitcoin because that's what I was sort of tracking. And that was breaking out the morning highs. Well, not the morning highs, but the afternoon highs, let's call it, at 48.5. So this was a zone that I was shorting in front of before. I'm like, okay, we're over it. Going to look for the long back into its volume-weighted average price. As that volume picking up in BTC, I'm going to imagine, before we go to Adara, I can also throw up ETH. I'm going to imagine, yeah, as well. It's bouncing, but not nearly as strong, but through some resistance as well. Bitcoin and ETH on a bit of a run. It's called a dead cat bounce. ETH down 9%. It's a 24-hour market, but it's been a rough day for crypto. Yep. Adara?
Keep an eye on RXRX and SDGR. As far as I can tell, these two seem to be moving in tandem with an announcement from the FDA. They're expanding their AI capabilities with agentic AI deployment. RXRX is really the only one moving on this, but nice push up here for RXRX. Let's also talk about Starbucks quickly, SBUX. Wall Street Journal reporting that this company has reached a $38.9 million settlement with NYC with regards to worker protection violations. We know there have been some union-related concerns here with SBUX. There's an update with regards to that company. RXRX, as I mentioned, also popping. Back to you.
Okay, good update there. Yeah, Starbucks, interesting. You know, here goes the TQs right now. So yeah, we're a little bullish. This is my favorite bull there. Make sure you do scan that QR, get some 3D capital in your life as well. But there goes Qs. So, you know, right up to the 50-period moving average. Hey, if it's going to work, it's going to work, and we'll be here for it. So let's do that and wait to see what winds up happening now with our position on the NASDAQ. All right, that's what we're doing here. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, let's do that now. JP Morgan, what's up to the chat? We could put something out. Do you guys want to put a poll up right now? I mean, what about the NASDAQ getting back to green? I don't, like, I think most people will vote no, but if we just come up here and you see this chart right here, the NASDAQ, if we bounce off of VWAP, I do think there is decent opportunity. Obviously, so I've got now a quarter, exactly actually, of the TQ position we just got filled, so a quarter of that position on right there. I don't know if the NASDAQ turning green is the right thing or not, but there could be something there. I mean, Bitcoin, we could put one up for Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin close above 86,000 or so?
That's fair. It's 85.5
there today. I mean, that's not a horrible call there. If you're looking at IBIT, maybe as well. IBIT down today 6%, but had a nice move recently there. So IBIT, MSTR could be a decent play. Or we could go like, what do we think this week? I mean, you know, we do have a lot of earnings plays coming out. Should be an interesting week for earnings. And we saw Marvell, and Marvell's an interesting name because this is a name that all right, the futures are going, guys. All right, we just got 05s. Yes, sir, let's go. That was a good idea to get long on the futures. And this is the only trade that I have this afternoon. And, you know, it came in there at 220. You know, we just bought some 54s, because 54 was a number that we had on our sticky note. And if you are looking, all of us have this up. I mean, I'm still right here on Adara's profile with Trader TV Research. But here we are right now, 500,000 subscribers. If you want to be one of them, just hit the subscribe button. I mean, it's pretty simple. Actually, before I go over the sticky note, let me just see here how many of you are actually subscribed right now. 21.5? Ooh, 22%. So you guys got to start hitting that again. But right there on the note today, see, we had the TQs written down for 54 short. So we did talk about that a little bit, TQQ 54 short. So that was my number one trade this morning, where we just got short. We kept on hitting the short, which was great. We put a 20-cent stop and eventually got stopped out. But it was still my P&L number one at that point. And then right now we came in and we just saw it bouncing off VWAP. Like, there's the bounce off VWAP. There's the bounce off VWAP again. And there's bounce off view up again. So let's take out another piece here at 12s right now, if we can get that. And there it is. So there's the out at 12. I always use gateways that will pay me. So sometimes we get filled, that I have to pay, so we get filled a little bit better. But there's the move right up into 12. So it's another winner there. So it's a chicken dinner winner. We want to thank BitZero and Kevin O'Leary for coming on. If you didn't get to catch him about 10:40 or so this morning, talking about crypto and saying how there was only one ring to rule them all, and there may be two. Well, he's Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I think he's pretty much, not to toot his horn, but I think he's going to be right on all that. Like, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'll just call this up and then we'll throw it back.
That's all you need.
Yeah, if you're looking at the market cap here of both of that, right? Like, both of those names. So the whole market cap, 3 trillion of the crypto space right now. But just look at this. This added up together. There's 1.7. So you got at least 2/3 of the market cap in the crypto space is Bitcoin and ETH. And then on top of that, if you add back Tether, which is just stablecoin, so you add that back, now you got 333 and 184, so that's 500,000. So that's 2.3 right there. And then you add USDC, which is, let's just give that another 100 billion. So then you're at about 2.4 billion. So 2.4 billion of the 2.9 or 3 trillion, is all tied up with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, and USDC. So yeah, like, to worry about Ripple or Binance, or he even used the example of Solana down there, all of these added up are going to just dribble into what Bitcoin and Ethereum all are already. So I think he's probably right there. You can get enough exposure just with the big guys there. We always say it's the sort of the dog that wags the tail. And if Bitcoin goes up, you better believe that those altcoins will follow.
Yes.
And it might not be the same. The altcoins go down sometimes when Bitcoin and Ethereum hold. So take a look at your portfolios.
Obviously, if you're looking at the poll right now, talking about the U.S. close. Some of 4 o'clock. It's a 24-hour market, right? So clearly talking about 4 o'clock. Usually almost every poll we do in the afternoon is going to relate to the U.S. market close or tomorrow's open, right? You got to anchor to something. Otherwise, we're just kind of like throwing stuff out in the middle of air. Like, is it ever going to get to 86? Well, it was going to trade at that price eventually. So if you just put long enough of a time period, it's going to get there. But 86 it's not asking a lot. We're at 85.5 right now. So just one more push. Like, there's Bitcoin. I have it up, and ETH is, got to remember to refresh this sometimes. Yeah, we are actually at 27.6, so underneath the 28K level, which $2,800 level, which has been pretty key for ETH, but 85.5 right now on Bitcoin. Beyond Meat, like, it broke the trend line. One slight push to try to get into VWAP so far, just looking for us to get down to $1.25. I do have a bid underneath, just in case it absolutely flushes down there. And Hangry Wife, we are trying to fix my mic. I know my mic is having a few issues. I think it's like some static electricity stuff. So my bad.
You're just
Baby
too
is
on
literally
fire
working on it right now. It's something
He's on fire.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk? Okay, fine.
Fixing the mic right now. So, thanks. We got a super chat in the chat there. We can put it up if you want to, if you have it there, Andre, but it's super chat there. And it just says, thanks, Joe, for Apple. So I guess Apple was on Joe's mind during the midday. So we want to thank Joe for bringing that to everybody's attention. And yeah, look, part of the reason why I'm long the futures right now, which is right now bumpity bump in the night, nice trade over here on that, is, there's a lot of momentum in Apple and in names that we know. We talk about the dog that wags the tail, but we know that Apple continues to push higher. New all-time highs today. Whenever you get such a monster like this, making new all-time highs. And the story came from our watch list this morning, and it was just, I'm going to call it up again. You can find here, I'll actually show you guys what our watch list looks like. Make sure you do grab that there in the chat. In the description of the show on YouTube, you'll find a link to all of these stories, man. I mean, it's great. Talks about what the manufacturing numbers were this morning, what they look like, what's expected, what the prior is, what's trading higher, the earnings that are today, crypto stocks in play, NVIDIA, there it is. And then here's Apple. So today's story is not a positive one, but just they're challenging a lawsuit there, 38 billion. Something about the Indian market there, disappropriate fines. So they're challenging it, which just means more legal fees, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's New Delhi. We do know that Apple moved into India for some production. So if you are interested in that story, go find it on the watch list. And I just sort of talked a little bit about it. And it's funny because I wouldn't have thought that was going to be the case today for Apple, but nice dip down. We got our footing around 945, and then the story just takes over, I guess, and Apple is a ripper into the close for us. And here we go, man. We're almost, this is now 30 cents in the money. Remember where our stop was VWAP. So this trade is honestly, we're long at 81. My stop is 69. So we now have 11 cents worth of risk to make 26. So props up to anybody in the chat there that was able to sort of gather this as a trade. And it's been working out really well here this afternoon. Neil's just in Beyond Meat and IBIT, and I'm sitting here in the futures, and it's been really good. So I don't know, wait to look. Bitcoin, I voted no for 86,000, and it was just more the fact that I'm getting out of this trade now in the futures. I'm not in love with where the futures are right now. I think we talked about that. I just, thinking we have a little bit of a downside push. So with IBIT being above VWAP, actually, maybe it does wind up holding. But if I think the market's coming back down, then I don't think this will get to 86. Is that the question? Is 86, right? Yeah. So I just said no, but
I could have put it at the price it was at. But
yeah, that for me that wouldn't have mattered. But
I don't think it mattered.
I still think it's lower from here on Bitcoin, but who knows?
I mean, as simple as it was above the volume weighted average price and bounced over. So it's IBIT's above VWAP, I should say, because I couldn't tell you BTC's volume weighted average price because you'd have to track that 24 hours, right? So IBIT specifically, I can tell you it's above the volume weighted average price and above that 48.5 zone. So I'm long back into VWAP as we speak. Hasn't broken back out the top since it took out VWAP, at least not yet, but it certainly has a chance. FlyE, which I know some people are looking at, that just halted, sorry guys, to the downside, unfortunately. But guess where it turned? Remember that $14 level? So that 14 where it was a little bit of a bounce here for support, rejected 14 on a break, actually got to 15 even, and now halted for about the, I don't know, 10th time, eyeballing it, maybe even 15 times today. Halted down. The tap is basically flat, so it's indicating a 12.51 open, unfortunately, on Fly. Weeping leader, have we gone over Marvell yet? This morning we did, and we talked a little bit about the earnings for them. They got what was the news this morning? Oh, dang it, I might have to double check, because off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember this story for Marvell.
Was there one about Marvell
There
today?
was a story for Marvell this
sure.
morning. Where was it? Yeah, it was with Microsoft.
Oh, really?
Marvell announces Microsoft's expanded use cases for Marvell-powered cloud-based security, yada, yada. So Marvell, not up 3% because it's a cool-sounding name, but this would have been when the headline came out this morning at about 9 o'clock, and it's basically held its gains. So going into earnings tomorrow night, Marvell with this, like, what do you call a W pattern? I suppose I guess that's what people call this, a W pattern for a potential breakout. Looking good. Microsoft deal, that can't hurt. That's going to be good revenues for them. The good thing what you want out of any kind of expanded partnership or a deal is you want money bags making a deal with you. You don't want it to be somebody who might not. So, are they going to pay up? Are they going to be able to keep this going? Are they going to renew? You don't have to worry about that with Microsoft. We talk about this with regard to Oracle and OpenAI, right? Like, that was everybody's concern. But if you've got one of the big boys behind you, that can be a powerful thing. And it just reminded me, I did not look at Lumen this week. That was another one.
So Marvell, you have to look at it as they're just an AI infrastructure play, right? Which is why I got involved with Marvell. We're long in the 70s on this name, and it's not even from that long ago on Marvell. It's always interesting to trade these names heading into earnings, that's for sure. Last time, it's a funny story on Marvell. I've been in this for a while, but you guys are always looking for some kind of plays. We had bought it right here live on the show, or not live, well, we talked about it anyways. And it was just an interesting play because it was really just into here. We had bought some early before their last earnings call. Then it got hit 19%. I was like, okay, well, that was obviously a very bad reco. And then we bought more after day 2. And since then, it's just ripped to the high side. Okay, so what Marvell does, they're like the, NVIDIA's like the brains with the GPUs and everything that will control everything, do all the inferencing and everything like that. Marvell's more like the attachments into that, so like the nervous system. So, any sort of little optics or the silicon or anything like that that helps make these data centers and these chips run and connect to the servers. That's what Marvell is trying to get involved with. Or they are involved with. They have deals with Google. They have deals with Broadcom, obviously with NVIDIA as well, as they look to, benefit from all of these build outs. So I think Marvell does have a good bull case moving forward, especially if the AI story continues. But Marvell does hold, if they guide lower, that's not going to be good for the NVIDIAs and all these chip makers of the world, because therefore they may be seeing a lesser demand for their products, the silicon, like I said, the interconnecting wires and whatnot for Marvell Technologies. So just be careful with that. They do compete with Broadcom in some of this space as well. So you do have to watch out for Broadcom, which is kind of funny that Broadcom may be getting to the downside there because potentially Broadcom's also embedded with Microsoft, and maybe what Marvell snuck in there today picked up some business from Microsoft. So I really like Marvell, and also Marvell is interconnected with what ARM does. So there's a piece, I'd have to look it up, but there's a piece of the ARM chip that Marvell produces or that needs to be, it might be the silicon that's involved with all of that. So that's why ARM and Marvell was part of SFTBY. SoftBank. So SoftBank was also interested in potentially taking a bigger stake in Marvell because of their monopoly.
Well, they wanted to combine the businesses specifically.
Yeah, so I kind of like the stock over there of Marvell, and I think we just, hopefully for those of you that aren't aware of it, we just maybe explained it there for you as well. So I like Marvell, and it is a position of mine. So I always like to say that because I don't want people to, I'm not talking up my own book. You guys are asking about the stock, and we talked about it, and that's why I make sure that everybody understands I am long this name, and I do want to sell some. And maybe tomorrow, let's see the action tomorrow, but this 95 spot, and I was looking today, I don't know if it was this name or something else, but we were up 39% on, and I think that this is a reason, it must be this, because we're long in the 60s. So, into here, I think is a great level. It goes all the way back to early September as well. So I hope, there we go. I mean, I hope I did a good job there, a little bit of explaining to you what Marvell is, and there's also things out there like large language models that you can quickly type in and figure out about your stock. So there's Marvell, and that's part of the reason why I'm in it. It is an AI play, so if you do think it's getting a little bubblicious, you may want to stay away from that.
Speaking of which,
I like bubblicious gum though. It's
I like the gum that you have. What's it called again? The one on the deck.
Pure stuff. Then have some more. Then, if you want some, I'm going to take one now myself.
Pretty good. I'm usually more of a mint than a gum guy. But we got another super chat. We'll get right to the super chat. It is from Venu 42. Great number. The meaning of life is 42. By the way,
yes, always.
Can you shed some light on Nebius?
Never.
You know, we get a lot of questions. We have a lot of Nebius questions.
And no, that's NBSI. The guy asked.
NBIS. That's Nebius.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw someone in the chat say NBSI. Yeah, different.
Oh, yeah. So no, yeah. This is about Nebius, but I don't know if there is. Maybe there is an NIBS or whatever. But Nebius in here. Look, this one. I hesitate to say that it's broken this downtrend because it's not really much of a trend. However, if you take like a bigger picture of this and just look at the gap, so the gap fill here, which was about 76.5, it pulls right back in to attempt a gap fill and then bounced. So this consolidation looks pretty solid. And if I were to really cheat and draw what I think is not an informative trend line, I don't think it's a good one, it really respected it today. I forget why I looked at this one. Somebody brought this up and was probably the reason I'd already looked at this. But so it's kind of breaking this trend line back out. Like you can sort of see like it held the prior trend and then broke it out today. So I think usually technically get to the 50 period at least, which is 110. That gives you 10% from here. And my daily chart at some point decided to crap out on me. Yay, case of the Mondays, the charts. No, but yeah, so the 110 level, that's what I think can be coming next. I like the fact that it filled in the gap, caught the bid, then broke the downtrend. 2 steps, 1 hold, and then break to the 110 level a little bit higher, just to go back over and hopefully, don't know what else you're looking for in Nebius. I can only really talk to the technicals on it, like don't own the stock, don't know a ton about it, but it is one that we had been looking at because we got so many questions about it last week. So we're about halfway to VWAP now on Beyond Meat as it's sort of slowly sliding down here. Still solid volume, but it is tapering off a little bit. So volume really good on this breakout, about like $1.20, but it's really starting to taper off. And it is almost 330, by the way. We're not expecting anything crazy on the locator, but whatever OWL is, it's 1.4 million to buy. Ford's a buy as well. Just some of the usual suspects, like some big Visa we see all the time, BAC. These ones tend to all pair off. So the only thing of interest right now, because I have no idea what OWL is, would be Blue Owl, which might be a penny stock. No, it's not. It's a $15 name with a 1.4 million imbalance. So I'm going to look to see if we're supposed to see some interest on Blue Owl, whatever it is that they happen to do. But my guess is I doubt it. It's sort of like a random Monday in here. Not usually any crazy index action. It is December, though.
Yeah,
so
good call.
Sometimes you do see stuff like that.
Yeah, we might get something. I mean, we had a big movement there on Monday. Sorry, today's Monday, on Friday on those imbalances. So I could see something happening, Neil, for that there. And I just want to show you, we are going to get to the super chat, but like, look, here's this fly. You can't see it here. It's too small. Maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys. I'll actually do that right after this, but it's halted every 5 minutes. So remember, I put this halt scanner there for you. And if you are using the PPRO platform, you can customize this. Look how easy this is. You go into here, you go into font, and I'll just make this bigger, man, so we can all see it much easier. So let's just go to like let's go to 14s, I don't know, right there. Now we'll be able to see that it says fly and the time. So very interesting there. I really am enjoying the Halt scanner. All right, where are we going, Andre? To Dara? All right, super chat. Oh, perfect. All right. What's up, Eddie Sarkeesian? So get a big, always super chatting. Thank you so much. Former day trader LA. Yes. He changed his name once the Jays beat LA in the World Series, of course.
Man, that still hurts.
Yeah, too bad about that for the Blue Jays. Take me out to the ball game.
That was a real tough loss.
Today was such a great day. Then I'll just go.
Awesome.
I don't know. I didn't even finish reading it. Hopefully there's not negative after this. Okay. Okay. How did y'all do? Okay, perfect. I've been away since SLV hit 53. Okay. We can have a quick look at SLV. Took the profit and signed off to drink some vino.
Ooh. Hey, it's
wine o'clock somewhere.
It always is.
You know, I mean, you're drinking wine? Oh, this guy's in LA? When he moved to Austin, I think he said he moved to Austin.
When did you say you stepped away?
1 p.m.?
3.
Okay, well, whatever. Enjoy wine.
It's 1 o'clock.
Exactly, it's 1 o'clock.
The math in my head, you're
at some point there. So yeah, for me, I'll just speak for myself. It's a green day. Like I said, we lost on AMD. But it's, you know, it's a fraction of what we wound up making. So this is the only trade that we have in the red today. I only traded 3 names, so it's AMD there. Thanks for asking, by the way, Eddie. Micron, which is great. You know, we were short and it was great, and we just got stopped out for flat. That was an L though. You know, we gave some back there. And the TQs have been a banger. You know, short. This is my P&L number 1 today is on the TQ. So far. So good over here. Anything updates on your day?
I'm red today, but you know, if I total it up, red less than, let's see, my worst day last week. Actually, no, I didn't have. Well, I had one kind of red day, a little bit more than my worst day last week, but I had 3 or 4 red days in a month, and this one would be like in the middle of them. So you know, nothing was like the only stock that I think I actually took like this was like it would have been. Like a bigger shot, like it was the only thing that was in like the list of things that I loved that set up was when we got to that 217 on AMD, and it pulled back. Like I think I had 16.5, and it got to 15, and I scalped out about $1.50 on that, and then I'm looking for the rest down at 213 in there. So like that one for sure, like it got halfway, reloaded it up top, and then it broke out. But that's sort of like the way I traded. Like I'm not scalping out into this. I'm holding to there, and I'm holding to there. So like this one, it'll be a hit. But that said, you know, if you're gonna get this one breaking down from 17, if it got to 13 and broke down underneath it, risk to reward was definitely there on that particular name. We have another super chat, but I just want to go if I can.
Eddie again.
It's Eddie again.
Yeah, the guy's on fire.
Oh yeah, my VWAP's wrong on this chart.
Eddie.
Yeah, my VWAP is gonna be messed up on Beyond Me, but it's kind of at VWAP, but it's off by like a cent or two. Eddie with another one, 150. I saw those. We did see them in the middle of the day. You sent out a bunch of memberships, so thank you for that. Hopefully another 5 or 6 digit profit for another 100 to 150 subs tomorrow for all y'all. 300 super chats today. And I want to remind everybody that with that membership, if you were fortunate enough to,
Oh, what happened?
No, my.
Don't ever say "uh-oh" live on stream.
Oh, sorry. My mouse was like I was trying to drag this over so you guys can see what you get, and then my mouse was sort of.
I actually like it when you say "uh-oh" because if there's a problem with the quotes, I can like instantly look at mine.
Well, it wasn't. It was.
If there's a problem.
Oh, just my mouse pad was a little sticky.
All right.
So, anyways, December 1st today, you can see Sharif's note. If you have the membership, this is what you're able to get for the cost of I don't know what it was like 25 cents a day. You get how many pages of analysis? I mean, 13 pages, starting with the crypto sell-off. You've got the Intel story from Airbus, of course. I mean, Boeing was moving on the Airbus story because they're having some quality control issues, which is, hey, good for Boeing, bad for Airbus. But Boeing can take all the good news that it can get. You had the PMI from China, a little bit of a disappointing number out there. And I can go on and on. But if you have the membership, you know, thank you, Eddie. But that's what everybody gets with it.
Yeah.
And also, too, I mean, when you hit this like and subscribe, it's also about growing the community, right? Like that's what we love. You know, Eddie's doing fantastic. He had silver. Hi-Ho Silver has been making some power moves. But we have some small cap traders in here that have been hollering about fire and what was the other one?
Fire.
Fly, not fire. Fly and shoot, AHMA. I keep forgetting the cool name of that company.
But always check the
really not that cool
visualizer there.
It is right behind me. But
what's that logo beside Tesla?
That's Beyond Meat.
Oh, it is? No, the lower one, but on the other way.
Well, that's Fly.
That's Fly, okay,
that is Fly.
Yeah.
It's like, what was it, like a bicycle?
I don't know, no lies on
Flies. It looks like a little bicycle for Fly.
Well, we had Joby, there's a story on Joby today. I mean, some of these eVTOLs starting to go upside as well, but... So here we go, TQQs. I was gonna look at Joby. So so we just be getting out, right? So right now, I'm actually now down to 15% left of this. So there's Joby right now. We had some stories earlier. I think this made our watch list as well for Joby. So eVTOL, it's been to the downside. I know Sharif likes this name as well. So Joby, downside, joining it with Archer there, ACHR, was another aviation name.
Danger zone.
Yeah, I mean, these guys were, I think there was a tie-up with some of these guys, and Tesla at some point last week. There was some sort of a talk, I think, was it with Joby and Elon or something there? Elon tweeted something out or something. I don't know, Adara's stepped away right now, but I think there was some sort of a story there with Joby and Tesla last week. But Tesla didn't get down to the levels that we had thought, but look where it did, man. Right into 426 again. So it's the hour of power, by the way. And for those of you, look, we've changed things around.
Bottles.
What happened?
Sorry, Eddie with another super chat.
I just want to say, Eddie, yeah, okay, we can put it up if you want. I've lost my train of thought here, but okay. 500 contracts at 51.80 right there for silver, sold at 53.23. Thank you, Andre. I'll talk about that in a second. 100K profits.
2 bottles of wine.
I know where I'm going next time I'm in Austin. I'm going to Eddie's place. Thank you so much, Eddie, for once again another super chat. All I was going to say is that you're obviously on a little bit of a hot streak recently, so just don't forget to pay yourself. And I know you've been doing that. You mentioned taking profits there, but don't just because you're on one, be careful. Make sure you keep some for taxes. And the
Which is legit. I know traders made that mistake before.
Well, yeah. For sure. Don't mess with that, man. I forget who it was. Somebody like really popular that I can't remember. Asian problems as well. And sometimes you just get bad advice. It's like, you sign these big deals, endorsement deals or whatever, and you get that check and it's like cashed. I think it must have been an athlete or something. But anyways, yeah, pay taxes first. What I was going to say is that now we actually have a bumper for this, actually. We're now live at 8 a.m. So the only thing I have thing right now is we're live at 8 a.m. So join us every single day live on this stream. Here is working on the watch list, getting the news stories to you guys in the chat. So the whole TTV crew live now at 8 a.m. till 4, and then we'll have what apparently are real popular these days, watch parties for major events or anything like that, and we'll be promoting those throughout the stream, throughout the day and whatnot on socials, so you'll never miss when we are live.
We should get popcorn on those days. And we got another super chat. Is this one? Oh no, it's not. It's not Eddie again. It's from Rookie. What? Throw it up. Rookie Cooker. Okay. Hopefully you're cooking up some profits. Do any other day traders get irritated or angry when their girlfriend family wants attention during trading hours? I'm wondering if this is normal or just me. I'm not angry. Here's the thing, like my family, I've probably told this before. Like if I look down and my phone says my mother is calling me, I would probably I would get serious stress because she knows if the market's open, she would only ever call during market hours if it was an emergency. My wife will message me. If I get a call from my close family, something has happened, which that would freak me out because I would probably react that way if we're on air, but during market hours. But I wouldn't get angry or anything like that. But they know. You've been doing it. I've been doing it long enough. I think at first it was never really that big of a deal because I'm old enough that when we started, people all over their cell phones was still not a gigantic thing. So it wasn't we weren't quite when we started. We weren't quite in the age of people trying to get a hold of you, and you got to be on at all times.
Right.
But you have to just communicate, understand, especially the open and the close, right? You should there's certain times when you're going to be on a little bit on a different level. But yeah, you shouldn't get irritated. Sometimes people do need to get a hold of you. That's just life.
I'm talking to my wife right now. I'm on Messenger, as you said, but to your point though, never phoning. If there's ever butt dial or something like that or whatever, that would be something that would never bother me, of course. I actually like it. I find it calming sometimes. And my wife is from this business, so we actually met right here on a trading floor. When I was manager of the Toronto floor, she was managing or working as a manager there up north. So on one of our offices back in the day, so she's well aware of all the life's struggles as a trader and whatnot. And I like to go and just relax and phone her a couple times when we're done at 11, and right when we go sort of back on air, just to get a lay of the land. I don't know. We're always doing something. Like tonight we have hockey again, and then tomorrow's volleyball. She keeps track of the calendar, so that's
basketball night tonight.
Appreciate that. Oh, you got basketball tonight.
I like basketball for Erin.
Yeah, basketball's awesome.
Yeah,
volleyball is awesome.
She gets into it. I find like volleyball is one of the most underrated spectator sports. But I'm talking.
Volleyball is the next big sport.
It is so cool. Like it's like Olympic volleyball. That's one of my favorite things to watch during the Olympics because like the athletes are out of control. It's such a fast game, like just super fast. That's what I love. That's what I love about it. The things you don't know.
Volleyball,
Will Chamberlain was a ridiculous volleyball player.
Wow, that's a surprise.
As was Vince Carter, which should not surprise.
Wow, another surprise. As was insert basketball player here, maybe.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
No, not all of them will like to be, but I mean, how high is the net? 8 feet. You know, most guys will.
Off the top of my head, I couldn't even.
I think it's 8 feet. Most guys will have that wingspan over there.
You know what's jokes? This is completely. I'm only going to say because if I don't say it right now, I'm going to forget. Tree, which was like a star volleyball player at our university, or sorry, at our high school we went to together. Tree's a real estate agent, and like he's literally sold like 2 houses in my neighborhood. And I only know because I'm walking down. I'm like, I see the sign. I'm like, I know this guy. And then I knew the people that were selling. I'm like, hey man, like, is this so and so who's selling your house? They're like, yeah. And like, go to our high school. I'm like, oh crap, this is our boy.
I was.
He was legit.
I was in Brampton last week for a game, and yeah, I got stopped by somebody. I was telling you in the Brampton Sports Complex. They're like, "Are you on Trader TV Live?" I'm like, yeah, something like that. And it was such a nice compliment, but I don't know if it was a compliment or not. He goes, "Oh, well, you look a lot skinnier in person." I was like, all right, I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it. We talk about these guys adding, the camera adds about 80 pounds worth of weight. So, no, but thank you for saying that, and that was always good. It's always nice to run in. And that's the thing about my wife, again. She sees me over there, because normally we're getting ready, and it was right before the game, and she saw me talking with somebody, so she kind of just like walked by and said, I'll meet you upstairs, and I gave the guy 5 minutes or so, so that was awesome. If you ever see any of us, please say hi. For sure.
But always say like it's weird because it happens to me it's happened more times in Brampton than Toronto, oddly enough. But because I grew up, like I live in the city I grew up in. So when someone stops me and they're like, hey, and they just give you that look, it's like, look, man, I think maybe I know you from like school.
Oh yeah.
And that it's awkward for a second because I'm like, oh, did we go to school together? And then if they don't say the show, it's like just say it's from the show.
Some guy in the gym today, like it was really awkward. Like I'm in the sauna and I feel like this guy's just like mean mugging me today. I'm just like, dude, like I don't know what to do here.
In the sauna? Okay, first
I'm just
of all,
stop staring, bro. That was the first thing.
No, that's a foul. That's a straight up
foul.
I
don't know. I'm just like, I really hope he doesn't notice me.
No, because you could. No, you can't. Not in the sauna. That's a straight up foul. You can't be eyeballing. Because then I'm thinking, either you're pranking.
But what do you say to the guy?
Either you're pranking me, and this is some kind of like or what are you doing? You don't stare at somebody in the sauna.
It was also kind of awkward too because to introduce yourself to somebody in the sauna may also be somewhat awkward. So I'm not sure how that's going to go down. But if I see the guy again tomorrow and it's something similar, then
just leave it alone.
A, I'll call the cops or B, introduce myself to him. So we'll figure out which one that's going to be. But stories continue to go. All right.
Very quickly, someone said in the chat, Xiaomi's moving up. Well, I trend in, trend out. So just remember we had VWAP as a target. Remember I said VWAP is a little bit off in this chart. So like it'll be, like it's a little bit down here. So I get 24 and not at 25. So I got 24s, held on to a little bit, held on to like 15% of it for a push underneath VWAP. But then I just drew the trend line from the top. So trend line broke, I got short. Trend line breaks here. I'm just gonna jump out if this takes out the 133. So we got the move we were looking for. Like it broke trend and pulled into what was the volume weighted average price. And now if it breaks higher, I'm just gonna jump out. Only 7 minutes until the imbalances.
That's what I was gonna look up was the imbalances,
Getting pretty close. Still don't actually have anything out here. It's all the same ones. It's whatever OWL is. I think I looked up the name of the company and told you guys. And then BAC, Verizon, Ford, T. Oh, BMNR. BMNR, that wasn't there before. 1 million sell side, BMNR.
It's there now,
wasn't a good day for crypto.
So we've noticed BMNR on this sheet before, and I think it's a lot of it has to do with, like if crypto's moving around on the day, you do see some BMNR there. So I'm not going to show, I'll save everybody, I won't show it, but Neil just did there again. So funny story time telling there. Thank you guys for liking that.
Instagram chief orders most U.S. staff back to office 5 days a week in 2026.
Isn't that reasonable?
Is that a big deal? Like,
You know, I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Like, we've taken 0 time off here. We have
depends on your business, I suppose, but like there's certain jobs that I think you can get away with 2-3 times. If you don't really have a lot of team meetings and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I think to each business their own. But you know,
things are normal now. So.
I would not be as productive at home. That is
honestly,
for sure. It's individual based, right? I mean, everybody knows their limits and whatnot. So yeah, that's interesting. So that would be Meta, right? We're talking about. So we could see if there's. Was that the story, Adair? Was it Meta? Did you say? Yeah. So all right, let's have a see if there's any sort of a quick effect here on Meta. No. I know here. I think there's a policy 3 days a week for some of the employees and staff that we have in the back there.
I think 3 is pretty normal for a lot of places.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable. The main problem is for those of you obviously with younger kids and everything like that. Like I've been blessed enough to have my wife been able to just sort of raise the kids and work at home and not really focus too much on work and be able to do that side of it. But again, very, very specific to everybody's own working conditions. And
well, the bigger thing is, and I just saw it in the chat. Tane in the chat just said corporate real estate isn't cheap. Like you have companies that still have a lot of them. If you still have the same physical presence, like they're paying that cost for a reason because they believe that it makes sense. So at some point, like if the company never downsized their commitment to actual office space, then you should know. And the companies that did do that, I think obviously more power to them if it works out for them. But I don't think it's unreasonable. Just very quickly, Beyond Meat did break that trend line. So the last 15%. We'll just jump out of it with only about, 15 minutes to go, but 5 minutes until the imbalances. Oh, my mic.
I have to ask Adair a question because isn't today Powell speaking somewhere?
8 o'clock.
Is it? Yeah, and then so it's 8 o'clock, so not going to be too market moving, I would think, unless you're looking at Asia or Blue Ocean. But okay, Adair, I'm not done yet. Where?
I honestly don't know that, and I'll look into it. But all I've ever seen is just that he's talking at 8.
Okay, yeah. So someone in the chat was wondering, if it potentially would have been market moving or not. So I thought if there was some sort of a discussion there. But remember, he's a lame duck, right? So Powell is great and everything, but it's May, right?
So I have the event. Sorry about that. So he'll be making brief remarks and participating in a panel discussion with individuals named Michael Boskin and also Condoleezza Rice. That's a name you might know.
Ooh.
That'll be on George Schultz and his economic policy contributions. So they're going to speak on, it sounds like one man's economic policy contributions. That is what I'm seeing here anyway on this official event description. From this calendar. Again, it'll be talking here with some individuals about one man's economic policy contributions. I'm going to look more into this, but that is what the official Fed calendar says.
There it is. Thank you. So we have a button for that.
It may not even be that interesting.
Yeah, because Trump is very, very excited about Powell speaking. And I thought it was, didn't we hear a story this morning also there that they've basically chosen, he's chosen the new Fed chair?
Yeah. In theory, so we're just waiting for that.
Do we have odds on that? We can check Kalshi or anything like that. And I don't think Adara, it's officially.
It's tacit.
Oh, they have?
Everyone thinks it's tacit. It's funny because the other Kevin that was in contention, Kevin Warsh, he was initially in the lead. Yep. Now it's tacit. There is an infographic on X at TTV Research, and I will drop it in the chat.
We got some infographics on X.
To say it's now 79% on Kevin Hassett.
Okay. So I mean, that's probably good odds. I mean, if they're thinking that's what it is. You
just look at the jump recently.
20 cents on the dollar.
This would be the 26th of November. So just... Yeah, sorry about my mic, guys. I don't know what to do. Apparently having issues. But you can see 26th of November, if you guys are hearing me okay. Big time jump. So it's a matter of getting it official. If it's an absolute lock, you can still make money on Kalshi, which is wild. If we're thinking that's an absolute
I haven't, lock. Just for your understanding, like I haven't seen anybody in the chat say anything about the mic.
They keep saying it in my ear. So if
yeah, well, that's Andre over there. He's got to get that figured out. So yeah, thank you for bearing with us, obviously, as we go through apparent mic issues.
Yeah, and Bill Comp, it's not till next year when Powell is gone. I don't know when they announce.
May, I said. May.
Yeah, but we don't know when they announce.
Oh.
Like, I have seen that it could be tomorrow or Wednesday. That's what some people are speculating. But we know that we were thinking around the end of this calendar year. Again, if I get more details, I'll let you know. But I was seeing some people speculate as early as tomorrow or Wednesday.
Seems weird to me you'd still be at 79% at Kalshi.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's a great bet.
That is a great. If it could be announced this week, why is this sitting at 79? That means you can make some coin there. But then again, it's like the old betting limits. You can earn 3.5%. And I didn't realize this. Do we know that you can earn? They're now paying out for deposits at Kalshi.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. That's why I asked Kevin today, and I was
here for
like,
a second, because I'll show you what I just did.
so if you stick your money there,
I don't have an account. I just clicked this just to see. Whoops. Oh, now it didn't go. I swear I was just looking at it. Which one was it? Whatever. Maybe I moused over it, but I was just able to see. It said like 3.5%, but I'm not going to sign up. But anyways, Kalshi giving you 79% chance. Look, with 1 minute to go, Bitcoin IBIT did not break underneath VWAP, but it also didn't break out. So while Beyond Meat worked out, certainly IBIT's not doing much of anything. We have another super chat, last one before we get the imbalances. What do you think long term on BitZero? Well, we just learned about them today.
I don't know anything other than what the guy said.
Yeah,
today.
exactly. Like we just had the CEO on today. Like I can tell you, they just came to market, and have been holding sideways. So I I'd have to give like some kind of a deep dive. We literally just learned about them today. So I would never aim to give you long-term advice on something where I've just found out about the company. Do I believe in crypto? Yes. Do I like the fact that, as Kevin and CEO Mohammed was mentioning, they're heavily involved in real estate and energy, which I think is really important because that gives them at least pivots as a business, because ultimately energy is going to be in demand for a lot of reasons. NVIDIA is a buy and balance of 1.8 million, just very quickly. AAPL, that's not the 1.6 million. TLT, 1.7 million to buy. Kenvue is a sell of 1.5, seems to always be there. But NVIDIA is the only thing that stands out to the buy side. Plug, 1 million there. And nothing too crazy. NVIDIA is the only one I'm seeing out of the Mag 7 names. And then BMNR comes out, 900,000 to sell. That's what we were expecting, so nothing big for BMNR. Yeah, so pretty, I don't know how big it'll be overall. 900 million to the sell side. So that NVIDIA imbalance doesn't really do much of anything to the overall market, which is a 900 million sell.
We've done pretty good here because the TQ just goes upside. So, the winner of the day, we just take one trade there. Nice move higher, it looks like. We'll be able to capture some of that. So good trading so far here on TQs, as it may end. I'm almost out already of this position. So not much to talk about here as we get flattened out over there on the TQs. Look, thanks again to everybody. Remember, WonderFi came to market. I think at $1, it got bought out for 30 cents. So I would just say, Neil was 100% right.
36.
Yeah, do your due diligence there. WonderFi might have even come even higher than that. So I don't know, but do your own, because you have to remember that when people come on here, that's why we have them on. So listen to what they're saying and figure out if you do like the space or not. We did have Hut 8 would be another situation. I didn't want to talk about like either a competitor or something like that, but Hut 8 was mentioned by Eric Jackson as another possible play in the space for energy and power and infrastructure for crypto and whatnot, and AI. So Hut 8 is another name that it's kind of reminded me a little bit of what they were talking about, CEO Mohammed and Kevin O'Leary with BitZero. So a little look over there as we end the day. Look, thank you so much for Eddie again. He's here. I don't know if these are the same ones or these are new ones, but thank you, Eddie, again for another 10. So that's a face slapper, Eddie. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your big trade. You mentioned silver, and I think the thing about silver is that you want to play trends, especially in not just precious metals, but basically everywhere. Oops, GLV. I want SLV right there. So caught between GLD and SLV, GLV. But silver, what a trend that's been. So good little look there. Nice break of 49.50 there, creating a move higher, and there it goes today. You get that extra extension, and the fact that you bought it today was a great move. Like you nailed that one. And then gold also starting to head to the upside. The NASDAQ will take a breather today, right? It'll be down 0.3, and anybody that voted Bitcoin looks like you'll be right there to the sell side of 86,000, but it didn't really move since we put that poll up. So anybody that basically said under, you probably won. I think it's down like 100 or 200 bucks since we put that up. But good look today for crypto. As it kind of held the level, I think that's good. Like we made the lows into the $80,000 mark over the weekend, and it looks like holding that now seems fine. We did go out around 90 on Thursday, Friday. So not a great weekend for Bitcoin, but the fact that it held out okay today makes me pretty happy. And there goes gold as well. And the one to trade is IBIT. So if you're ever looking at a daily look at crypto and you're trading an ETF, IBIT down 6% today. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll keep going, no problem. All right, so we do want to have one more look as we do have some mic issues. Remember, we are live every single day now at 8 a.m., so double check us there. TLT, of course, the Treasury, that's not going to move too much, but as you worry about dollar strength, which has been happening, you see a little bit of Treasury move to the downside there today. Flight to safety, people obviously running today towards precious metals. TMC would be a good one. The metals company there with silver going upside, gold going upside. We do have rare earth as well. Some of those plays have been talked about with MP Materials. That's been a good one there. We know the U.S. government does take their hand in some MP, so that's been a good upside push early. Now trying to find its way. USAR, again, rare earth. So this would be another play, again, into the metal spot. Rare earth getting involved there. China holds many of that, so this is a good area for the United States to get into some names like LAC, right? Lithium America. Of course, the big joke is located here in Canada, but Lithium America had an upswing on U.S. governmental purchases as well. 3 up to 10, back to 4, now 550. All right, 5 minutes left. Thanks, everybody. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe, and make sure you do check us all tomorrow as well. All right, let's see if your mic is fine.
You good?
All right.
Well, it better be, because we're going to be talking about Trade the Pool anyways, because they're transforming how stock traders access the markets. They've got the limited risk trading model, and traders use funded capital, while Trade the Pool is going to absorb that downside. This allows you to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. And right now, Trade the Pool still on Black Friday deal. Get 15% off all evaluation accounts automatically at checkout. And when you hit that profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get the discount. Shout out to them. Just a quick note, 355 hit, nothing crazy happened, except ETHA, which was not on the locator, is now 1.5 million to the sell side. So there weren't a lot of big imbalances, but ETH was not there, and now the ETF is a sell imbalance. At the same time, I just punched out IBIT, kind of bounces a little bit off VWAP, but kind of a sideways afternoon after plunging off of these prices this morning. Like this same price area, Bitcoin, plunged pretty heavily, but catching a small bid to be above volume weighted average price right now. ETHA on that sell imbalance that I just showed you didn't really move much. So like Sean said, I think sometimes these just, when they're really volatile, you'll see big imbalances, but it doesn't really mean there was anything actually tradable here, unfortunately. But yeah, 9% down, yuckity yuck. You know what, a lot of times I'll show you guys a Bitcoin chart, and I don't ever actually do this on Ethereum, so I'm just going to, You got to see, like, everyone harps on Bitcoin. Oh no, Bitcoin's been so terrible. Let's go to a weekly. If you look at ETH, it has been cut in half, well, almost in half, almost exactly in half. We're pretty much at 5,000. Like, remember it feels like yesterday when all our troubles seemed so far away and we were talking about this breaking out at 20.
It's yesterday.
And then any of those fools that told you that, you should be selling or take profits in front of 4,000, that seemed like a great idea at the time. Well, it went to 5,000 anyways. That looks really good right about now. So shout out to anyway. I sold a boat that I did not hold for 5,000, like a chump. But ETH, I think this has more room, because 2,000 is a monster level. That's a negative consolidation. You break 26, you head down to 22. That one could also, if Bitcoin gets to that 73 to 75 level, to me, ETH is down around 22 hundo, if not 2,000. So we always talk about, I always show you a Bitcoin chart because that's the one thing I care about. That's where most of my holdings are, and that's what we usually trade. But yeah, certainly that's in trouble. I just saw Webslinger mentioning Opendoor just moved down.
Webslinger?
Not really. The web slinger, that would be Spider-Man. But 8% down today on Opendoor. And it never even got to that $7 level. That's a big one, but unfortunately for Opendoor, like, what's the catalyst to get it going again? That's the thing with these squeeze plays. Like, is it going to be the next? Like, I don't personally think it's going to be the next. I don't know. People always consider it the next Carvana. I think that's kind of a stretch, anyways. But I just don't see what the next available catalyst is going to be. We now know we're getting the rate cut in December, and the rally we got couldn't break through $8 in the 50 period. So you got a nice rally when the rate odds went up again. So what do we need? The actual cut to happen, or maybe the next round to see if we're not getting a pause? You know, this could be on the short-term penalty box for these guys. 1 minute to go in here.
Ooh, that's it, eh? Okay.
This could be worth it. This might be worth it for a continuation short tomorrow when I look at open door, at least down into 6.5. But with less than 1 minute to go, as I said, not much crazy happening on that locator. Nothing really popping off there. ETH still 1.4 million to the sell side. Bad day for Bitcoin. The NASDAQ got green for a second, for like a minute or two. ES never went green. We've been red pretty much the entirety of the day, even with the bounce. So start to the week on Cyber Monday. If you were shopping for deals, you still probably had a few because there was a bunch of weak names. You got a lot of deals in crypto at least.
Yeah, lots of stuff happening. And I just want to say again, a big thank you to everybody for watching us right now, as we only have 50 seconds left or less. No, my clock has frozen for me here. So, there it is. Now there's only 10 seconds left right now. Okay, that was interesting. My clock actually did freeze a little bit there. All right, this is brought to you by Orogenic, symbol OGen there on the NYSE. We want to thank them for sponsoring the closing bell. 2 and 1. So, yeah, pretty eventful day. I mean, for individual names, you know, we looked at that fly. We looked at a few different names for you guys as well there today. Beyond Meat had a great day. We'll see if that can continue there tomorrow. The NASDAQ goes out at down 0.3%. ES down 0.4%. So there's the NASDAQ. Here's the ES right there. Let me just quickly double check what Beyond Meat is actually up to right now. 137. So we talked about maybe the pullback breaking through that 134, 135 area. That looked like that was legit down into VWAP again and now bouncing back up. So yeah, good day overall. NVIDIA did not get back through 180, but almost right there at the close, 180 for NVIDIA. That'll be tomorrow's trade, I feel like. NVIDIA breaking through that 180. We'll see if that happens overnight. And then crypto almost got going, 85.6 to end the day. So thank you so much, Adara today, and everybody for watching. Joe and Sharif on the midday. Andre for his work on the board, and Fabian and Ramin on the social side of that, and Fabian for everything that he's doing. Right now. Thanks, Brendan.
And Fly is flying.
Is it going again?
Yeah, Fly is, this is
Halt,
kind of weird. It's grayed out for me, which is kind of odd. I feel like my level 2 is all grayed out, but it's actually moving. So clearly moving is Fly E, the small cap from this morning, still powering higher. That's the thing. We came out at 8 o'clock, and both of the active names in the morning were great longs if you're a small cap trader. Whether you're talking about Fly or I believe it was BTT.
QTT.
Or QTTB. Yeah, QTTB. So both those, and we'll be back at 8 o'clock. It's new, it's fantastic, and when we do have big earnings, we will do the aftermarket show as well.
All right, good trading today. All right, we'll get Neil's mic fixed, I promise you, for tomorrow. So no matter where you are, have a great evening. Study your charts. Get ready for some more ideas tomorrow. That's Neil. I'm Sean. Ciao for now. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock.